Alright, so this is another comic review of a comic that was sent to me by my friend Chris. Excuse me. Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about Silver Surfer Ghostlight. So, Silver Surfer Ghostlight is written by John Jennings. I had to read it real quick because I forgot. John Jennings, artwork by Valentine Delando, colors by Matt Malilla. Yeah, so this was a mini-series that came out a little while ago, and the Silver Surfer story itself is actually kind of interesting, because the main character isn't Surfer, it's this guy, Ghostlight. So, basically what this story is about this family who moves into their dead uncle's house to take care of their grandmother and be away from the big city and whatnot. And while that's happening, the two kids, Tony, that's the girl's name, and I forget the boy's name, but her brother, discover that their uncle had a underground lab in the shed, and she's also, the daughter, Tony, has been having like these strange dreams at night of this person called the Shining Man. Don't worry, it's not like it's not connected to The Shining, but basically what it is that it's their uncle who gets, through their accidental chicanery, accidentally resurrects their uncle, who's now endowed with all this energy. And not only that, he was also a close friend to the Silver Surfer. However, with Ghostlight's new abilities and reawakening, he's caused basically a big chain reaction that has endangered his family, and now must turn to he and the Surfer have to fight to protect them and the universe. So, I really like this comic. This comic really has a lot of really good character back and forth. Like, I really love like the banter between all of them. Like, everyone feels like a real character. Like, everyone feels like having real conversations in a real family. I also really like the character of Al, aka Ghostlight, because he's actually a character that was kind of established before. Kind of. It's not like Secret History. They do kind of reference other comics, and I do like there's also a lot of great character to them. Like when they encounter Silver Surfer, the family's like, he goes, the grandmother's like, so what's your name? And he goes, I've been called the Silver Surfer. He's like, what's the name your mom gave you? And he just goes, Norrin Rad. And she goes, well, I'm gonna call you Norrin. And like you see in Surfer's face, like, oh my god, I'm being like, it's been so long since anyone has called me Norrin and not just the Surfer. So I do like that. I like that. There's also great character moments like that. Now the villains of this story are interesting. Like one who kind of, they don't really say it's AIM, but it does feel a lot like AIM. Is this a woman named Sombra? And she basically is an atheist who's trying to, like, tap into dark energy and also steal Al's power. There's a lot more to it than that. But I like her story because she's not really viewed as a villain. She's more like having her own crisis of faith and doesn't believe in God, while her younger brother does. And she has her own reasons for that. And they're really cool. Like, she is an antagonist, but she's not like a villain. There's more to that. The other villain in here we have is the Stranger, a classic cosmic character who has clashed with the Surfer before. The Stranger is a scientist who, his backstory is pretty complex, but for those wondering, the Stranger is basically a cosmic character who doesn't know when to stop his experiments. There's a lot of cool stuff of his parallel between him and the scientist Sombra, and how their stories intersect is pretty cool. But it's a very good, like, family wholesome story. I was afraid that, like, while yes, Surfer, this is kind of my one complaint with the comic, is that Surfer feels like a supporting character to Ghostlight, and I get, like, that's like he's part of this story, but like I feel like you could have just called this comic Ghostlight and have the Silver Surfer star in it. But I get it. Like, I do understand that, like, yes, Silver Surfer is a known character, Ghostlight is not, so you gotta sell that you got to sell the comic. I get it. There's some pretty good action in here. There's I also love, again, Surfer is just going out of his way to help this guy because they were friends and to help their family. And there's also like some great stuff about talking about like the unknown, the science of the unknown, the challenges of faith, and also the family themselves. When they see, Al come back, they're like, even the grandmother who's like, I just saw, like, I buried my son and now he's walking in front of me, and it's just like hard for her to deal with. There's just great storytelling in here. Yeah, this comic kind of flew under the radar for a lot of people, so I do strongly suggest, if you haven't already, go check this out. This was part of the original Marvel haul Chris sent me. I just haven't gotten around to reading it, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit down and read Ghostlight. Silver Surfer Ghostlight. If you are a Silver Surfer fan or want to read a good, a good self-contained story, yeah, give this. I would strongly recommend. This is a really good comic. Yeah. Other than that, you guys tell me in the comments below if you've read Silver Surfer Ghostlight. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of it. Other than that, Chris, thank you once again for this comic. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.